the mechanisms of defense. This is her. Anna's dilemma. When Anna was 22 years old, she began to do psychoanalysis with her dad, which was really strange because the times that they did, it was like late at night, just him and her. And he wanted to know her dreams. And she had some very, I don't want to call it weird because we all have bad dreams. She had some very harsh and violent dreams, like about shootings and murders and killings. And one of the dreams she had that was reoccurring was about her and her dad, like sexual relations between her and her dad. And I would have really loved to know what Freud thought about her dreams. It never really said what was his conclusion, but I would imagine that with the way Freud is, he would automatically tell her, you know, you want your dad, you know, that's why you had that dream. So that was pretty interesting. Anna's relationship with Sigmund was very, it was interesting because she was so close to him. She really admired his work. She went to all of his conferences. But if you recall in the book, it says that when she was born, he told one of his friends, you know, well, if she was a boy, I would have sent you a telegram or something. Like, it wasn't really exciting that she was born a girl. Also, Freud was very protective of her. Like, whenever she would tell him about a guy that was interested in her, he would automatically tell her to brush them off, like, do not talk to them, like, even if it was a really good guy. So I thought that was pretty weird. And also, something interesting was Anna did not get along with her older sister, Sophie, and Sophie got married, and Freud told Anna she could not come to the wedding, which really made Anna mad. And Freud told Anna that the real reason she was mad is because she didn't like her new brother-in-law, and that she was jealous because the new brother-in-law was taking the love from the sister, and that Anna secretly wanted her sister. So yeah, Freud really had weird things going on. Anna's creation. She created developmental psychoanalytic psychology, and she based it upon 3 notions. One of the notions was that development is not in stages. Like, Freud had an idea that we develop in stages, and Anna disagreed with that. She believed that development was continuous, that it actually does not stop, that it's just a continuous thing. Like, even now we're developing. The second notion was that we progress in our development through our interactions environmentally and biologically, meaning our development could actually depend on genetics. It could depend on our environment, like the way we interact with things around us could affect how we develop. And the third notion was we have to understand normal development. What is considered normal development? We have to understand that in order to understand what is abnormal, what is not considered normal development. So that was really interesting with Anna. Okay, Anna opened her psychoanalytical practice in 1923, and a lot of people was under the belief that Anna was Freud's shadow, but really she actually had a mind of her own. Although she took her dad's work and applied it to kids, she actually developed her own theories. She did not take everything from her dad. She was her own, like she held her own. And the difference between Anna and Freud was Anna believed that children's symptoms come from she believed children's symptoms come from our developmental stages. Like, Freud believed that symptoms come from the unconscious. Everything was unconscious, and Anna didn't quite believe that. She believed that our developmental stages actually had a lot to do with us, period. So that was the difference between her and her dad. This is actually irrelevant, but I thought it was really interesting. Anna had a diary, and someone got it when she died, and they published her entries. So this is an excerpt from her diary, December 19, 1910. Forgive me, Father, for your suspicions were in fact correct. The dream in question was of a lascivious nature. Perhaps now you might understand my original intention of glossing over such an embarrassing and lest you forget unbidden fantasy, especially when relating to one's own father, who specializes in dream interpretation, no less awkward. Yeah, that's pretty awkward. Yeah. Anna had a lot of contributions to psychology. She opened the door for women theorists. I mean, she was really big. She opened the door for child psychoanalysis because it did not exist before Anna came into the picture. Nobody ever thought, I mean, pretty much Freud was adults. So Anna took it and applied it to children, and she emphasized on it a little more. She helped us to understand the importance of development. Like, for instance, she did believe that development was continuous. Freud kind of believed it was in stages. So she helped us to look at development in a different manner. And last but not least, she helped us to differentiate between the id and the ego. Like, everything was Freud pretty much based on the id, and Anna pretty much said, well, let's go further. Let's look at the ego and how much more important it is and how it actually acts independently. It's not all based on the id. So Anna's works are actually still in use today. Child psychoanalysis is still going on. So that's it. That's Anna.